Good evening, YouTube. This is Johnny. Thought I'd make a video. It's a Monday here in West Michigan. It is Monday, May the 20th, 2019. It's 9:20 at night. Monday. So I thought I'd make a Monday Reads, or just an update about my reading life, my bookish life. I should be honest here, I'm getting I think I've made videos over the last couple of years that I get to a point sometimes where I have a hard time getting anything else to get into my brain. I'm kind of stuffed. I want to read, but I got so much going on in my brain because I've been reading so much and trying to process it all and get it all in this right. Sometimes it's kind of like you're reading all these books and you're reading all this stuff and you have to get it in the right kind of file system. You have to get it in order inside your brain. And my wife's always saying, give your brain a rest. Because I'm always thinking, I'm always analyzing, I'm always thinking about the past, wondering about the future. And my wife says I have a high anxiety threshold. I'm always anxious. And, but this is a Monday. But there are certain things that I can read. I find it's like you get into, it's kind of like what I do is I have all these books around me that I'm reading, and then I try to find one that I can read and it's not difficult, or I just find myself in the right frame of mind. I'm in the right groove. And one book I'm able to read, and I read this last night. I have been able to read this. Now, I don't know why, because it's a very dry book, but I do find it interesting because I'm a book person and I like reading about the history of books and trading books and how books were published and printed. So I've been reading this, and I read this last night, and I'm able to read it. I'm going to read it tonight. I was thinking earlier, before I start making this video, what can I read? I mean, it's too early to go to bed. It's only 9:23 at night here. Tomorrow's a Tuesday. There's nothing going on in my life tomorrow. It's supposed to rain here in West Michigan. But I am able to read this, which I find surprising because I have novels I've been reading and essays I've been reading and memoirs and biographies. But I'm able to read this. So I've been reading this. The Bookshop of the World, Making and Trading Books in the Dutch Golden Age by Andrew Pettegree and Author der Wilren. So I've been enjoying this. I find it interesting. So I've been reading this in the evenings. Now today I volunteered at the Library Used Bookstore, the Book Nook, and I was able to read this. I got this last week, Friday, when my wife and I went to Grand Rapids to celebrate our 40th wedding anniversary, and we went to Baker Bookhouse, which is a Christian bookstore, and they sell used books. And I bought this book, The Beauty of the Lord-Theology, as an ascetics by Jonathan King. This book is really heavy. It really demands a lot of my attention. Maybe that's why I'm kind of tired. I was reading this thing. It's not that it's nothing I haven't read before. It's just getting used to the way he sets forth his thoughts. But it is, as it says here by Michael Horton, a feast for the soul. It is a feast for the soul. It's a good book. It's kind of book that you read and you meditate on it. you have to think about it. You just can't read. You have to read some, maybe reread it a couple of times. And I take notes when I'm reading. Now today, when I was at the book nook, I'm not able to take notes, but this morning I read the Beauty of the Lord for devotions. So I do jot down things into my diary, my paper diary. I ended on page 445 for today, for the year 2019. So tomorrow, May the 21st, 2019, I should be on page 446. If nothing happens to me during the night, I'm not called home to be with the Lord. So, and also I did read the other day, Romans, Disarmed, Resisting Empire and Demanding Justice. This book also takes a lot of thinking about, because I find some of this trying to understand their understanding of the Epistle of Romans, but it's worth reading. This is Disarming Romans. It's on the Epistle of Romans in the New Testament. Romans Disarmed, Resisting Empire, Demanding Justice by Sylvia C. Keesmaat and Brian J. Walsh. So I am able to read that. And I did get out to read in the morning this book, which is mentioned in this book, The Beauty of the Lord, that this book is referred to, and I got it out of our library. And it's called The Glory of God, edited by Chrisopher W. Morgan and Robert A. Petterson. I wanted to read this essay in here in the morning. It's called, he refers to it in the book. It's called, let me see. Oh, I just saw it. There was a chapter. It's called Toward a Theology of the Glory of God by Chrisopher W. Morgan. And I want to read that in the morning. And yeah, so I got a very sharp pain in my leg all of a sudden. It's just excruciating pain. That's why I'm saying I have a high anxiety threshold. I'm thinking, why is there extreme pain in my leg unless I'm having a stroke? But I should be in perfect health. There should be nothing wrong with me. But it's just this sharp pain in my leg all of a sudden. Anyway, so I'm going to read this, Toward a Theology of the Glory of God in the Morning by Chrisopher W. Morgan. Yeah, in this book, there's chapter headings. This book came out in 2010. You have in chapter 1, there's an essay. These are all essays by New Testament scholars, I think, who teach the Bible or preach the Bible. The Glory of God, Present and Past by Stephen J. Nichols. The Glory of God in the Old Testament by Trimmer Longman III. Chapter 3, The Glory of God in the Synoptic Gospels, which is Matthew, Mark, and Luke. In Acts, The Glory of God in John's Gospel and Revelations by Andrew J. Kistenberger. Chapter 5, The Glory of God in Paul's Epistles by Richard B. Gaffin Jr. 6, Towards a Theology of the Glory of God by Chrisopher W. Morgan. A Pastoral Theology of the Glory of God by Brian Chappell. And lastly, in chapter 8, A Missional Theology of the Glory of God by J. Nelson Jennings. So I've looked at this book over the last couple of years, so I've been reading that, and like I said, I was at the Book Nook and I brought these home from the book. I got this from my wife. My wife was told by one of her girlfriends this book, and my wife was interested in reading it, and it came into the Book Nook, and I bought it for her. It's called A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor, Towles. This book has, when I cataloged it in Library Thing, over 2,000 people had it. So it must have been a really a great book. The book kind of interests me too because it takes place during after the Bolshevik Revolution, when Stalin and the communists took over Russia. It takes place during that time period, but I don't want to get anything else inside my brain, so I'm not going to read it. But maybe someday I will. And I picked up this biography at the Book Nook today. I like collecting books, like I've said, on journalists, newspaper editors, book editors. I like reading about newspapers like the Washington Post, the New York Times, things like. But this is called The Colonel, The Life and Legend of Robert R. McCormick, Indomitable editor of the Chicago Tribune. So yeah, I got this, and I was reading some of it today, off and on, but that's what I got at the Book Nook today. So that's what's going on here. Like I said, I'm kind of clogged. I can read this, the Bookshop of the World. I'll read this tonight, up until I read it until I went to the bed last night. I can read. I don't know why I can read this. I do. Like I said, it's kind of dry, but I still find it interesting. So that's it. Not much else going on this week. Carol worked tonight. She's off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She works Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Next week, Tuesday, she leaves for a week to Denver to visit our daughter. I don't have anything coming in the mail as far as books or CDs. I got a CD in the mail today. I don't have it here with me. It came all the way from Poland. I had to sign for it. I think it was some death metal or black metal ambient music. And yeah. I don't know if I go thrift stores. The weather's supposed to be really bad, cold and rainy and dark, and like I said, I'm kind of clogged. I just don't feel like going anywhere when my brain is all just stuffed. So what I should do is just read these few little books, write in my diary, watch the birds, meditate, pray, read the scriptures, like I'm still in Romans chapter 1, and try to live a quiet, simple, godly life as we come to the end of time, the last days of the American Empire. So I don't know what else to say. Thank you for all the congratulations about our wedding anniversary, and we got a thing in the mail today from our daughter. She sent us this $50 debit card. So my wife and I are going to go out for breakfast this coming Wednesday morning, and then we're going to go grocery shopping, and so that's kind of nice. Yeah, last night we went over our sons down the street. They grilled hamburgers, and we had a Tommy Turtle ice cream cake, and celebrating our 40th wedding anniversary with our oldest son and his wife Emily, and our two little granddaughters Josie and Cora. That was really nice. And got a card from our son Josiah and Hannah and little Marika. And like I said, in a month, all our kids are going to be here with their families, and it should be a great time. So yeah, not much else to report. We're coming to the end of May. How many days we have left in May? Let me see. Today is the 20th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 more days in the month of May. And then we're in June. Before we know it, we'll be in summer of 2019. Well, I'll sign off. Thank you for all your kind words. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for those who watch this video and subscribe. And hope you have a good week, a good reading week. And I hope you're all well. And until next time, bye.